Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is beginning of the month for the month of May Tarot Oracle reading. And Taurus, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Taurus, and you do have your birth chart, which house is Taurus in? We all have a little bit of Taurus in us somewhere. And so that's where it will show up most likely for you. Also, whoops, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. So we're going to begin with the underlying energy for the entire reading, and we have the Mean Girls card, 5 of Wands. So the wands represent fire, the element of fire in tarot, so they're about action and passion. This is my Mean Girls card. It's talking about immature competition, and this is saying that you know, if you picture some cheerleaders at a competition, and they're maybe in, you know, grade 7 or 8, or maybe in high school, and they can see the other team has won because they're better than them, but they want that trophy, and they'll do anything to have that trophy. So they can get really mean. And if they don't succeed, then their mothers will pull strings in the behind the scenes to make sure that they do. So this is an immature competition. Once we mature, we realize that anytime we are in competition for something, whether that be at a sporting event or maybe a position that's posted at work, and there's a lot of people wanting to be promoted to that position, or maybe we're on social media and want to go viral, all of that energy, after a while we start to realize that who we're really in competition with is the last best version of ourselves. Because if we even become just 1% better every time we go out and do something, we're going to eventually excel. And if the whole team has that attitude, then the whole team will excel. And of course, then you're most likely to be the best team there and actually deserve that trophy. Now, immature competition is when you don't realize this and you don't learn from the competition. Instead, you try to defeat them no matter what, you know, kind of energy. You can learn from the competition and really upgrade your own position. We have a Knight of Cups is coming in here with an offer of love. So this is talking about the underlying energy for the internal forces. This is from the bottom of the deck. And the Knight of Cups is talking about a love offer coming in. And, you know, this is the traditional knight in shining armor that we read about in the romance novels. The knights would, in the old days, they would travel far and wide throughout the kingdoms to deliver messages between the kings and the queens in the area, and they would then travel all the way back with the message, with the answer to the message. And so, of course, this was their only long-distance form of communication, but it would take quite a while. Nowadays, we actually have all sorts of access to information. This could be, it could be in person, but it's more likely that it could be a phone call, a text message, possibly a post, a card, an invitation that comes in the mail. Maybe you get an email. There could be a message on social media directed towards you, or maybe you see an event posted there. You attend the event, and lo and behold, you meet the person of your dreams. Yeah, the knight in shining armor energy. And I really suggest that when it comes to communication and information, if you're looking to receive, take about 5 minutes a day just to look at what's going on at the top of the pyramid in the world. What's going on with the leaders represents what's happening on to a lesser degree below. As above, so below. So definitely what's happening at the top of the pyramid is going to affect all of us, trends, etc. You could really learn a lot from it. All right, so there is a love offer coming through from the Knight of Cups. The cups in tarot quite often do represent romantic love, but if you're not looking for romantic love, or you already have that, it could be an upgrade in what you have already, or it can be talking about maybe something you love to do or something you love to be, and there's something coming in, you know, some information or communication coming in around that. Or it could be even someone else that you love that's not romantic, like your family member, a friend, that type of energy. Most likely, though, this is that knight in shining armor, so it usually indicates romance. We have justice coming in, and this, I just want to say, I want to pull this back over here. This is your how you are identifying with yourself and your self-image. So you might feel like you're in this energy where you are the knight in shining armor and you want to deliver a message, or you could be someone who wants to receive that message. The energy, I just want to remind you that any of the figures in the tarot are archetypes. So this male energy could be a female energy that is in her masculine energy, as well as a male in his masculine, and that's true of all of the cards. Queens and queens can be in their male in their feminine energy, as well as female in their feminine. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so oh no, it does go here. What am I talking about? What we have here? I'm like, I got my head wrapped around this energy being here, but I still do. If I did that, there is a reason for it. So maybe that is, and maybe the justice, this is justice that is actually here. So you want justice about some sort of love offer. It's kind of an interesting energy here. Like, were you in competition for someone and someone else is dating or is with that person, or vice versa? I feel like that's why that happened, and you want justice. Okay, so we hear you. So the justice is talking about, justice comes in through the spiritual realm first, and then it comes down to the physical. So justice is about also redemption from karma. Now, a lot of people feel karma is punishment, but karma is actually cause and effect for your actions or your inactions. And you can have direct karma, like you went out and you did something and you caused karma for yourself. Or it could be indirect. It could be coming from your ancestors with unfinished business, your descendants, if they're old enough to cause that kind of karma. And also your, it can be any associations you have with other people, friends, family, etc. Business associates. If you're indirectly associated with them, it can cause their karma, can bring karma to you. And then we have the karmic spaces, which every human being can easily fall into. So this energy here is talking about the justice it's in here in yourself. Like, this is what you want. And you might also be feeling like, I'm picking up the word revenge, but the best revenge is living well. So remember that, Taurus. You might have righteous anger, but just remember that the best revenge is living well, for sure. And this is talking about the energy of justice. She's got her sword is up in the air and she's ready to wield it. Her right foot is forward, showing she's ready to take action as soon as she gets confirmation from above, from the Most High. And then we have this as your abundance, how you feel about abundance. So this is, you want this justice from whatever this situation is, because then you feel that you'll be able to move on to a new cycle. And that's what you want. So this is really good energy to be in. End the old cycle, begin the new. And this is talking about your abundance and your self-worth. So the Fool goes on, starts at the 0 point in the major arcana, goes on their journey. And at card 21, it's the end. Whenever card 21 shows up, that's the end of that cycle. That's the most you can learn from it. When the Fool starts out on his journey, it's not like, it's probably not his first journey. It's not his first cycle. You can tell he has tattered sleeves here. And this is talking about, taking all the information that he's learned from the cycle he just left and applying it to the new cycle to have a good result as he moves on his journey. The sun is shining on him, representing God, is in support of him moving into this new direction. And also, you notice that he has very little baggage. So he has just what he needs to be able to move into this new cycle. He's not carrying a lot of karma and, that type of energy with him. So it's awesome. The communication in your early life. So I feel like you were taught when you were young that you need to work hard for money. I'm just going to explain the pentacles. The pentacles are representing your health and your wealth and your happiness in the third dimensional world. Now, the pentacle energy, of course, is in the shape of a coin because money is a very big deal when it comes to 3D happiness. There's a need to have money to be able to function at a high level. And this card represents someone who's very focused on making money, working hard at it. And it can represent either you just began a new project, which could be because you're in this new cycle energy, a new project, a new lifestyle, that type of energy. Because you could have all the money in the world, but you might not be living the lifestyle that you want. And this represents lifestyle, even though this card is focused on the money end of that. And so this is talking about beginning a new project or lifestyle and then moving, like you've got one done, one done, and you're on the second one and you have 6 to go. Or it can represent that you're just finishing up and then you're going to begin this cycle. So as soon as you're done this project, this lifestyle, it's 6 pentacles done, the 7th is almost done, and then you just have 1 more to go. So that energy, you could be not quite on this new journey yet. You're waiting for justice to come in so that you can complete this, or you already have and you've begun the new journey. I have a feeling it might be the second here, just because you're waiting for justice. So this card represents like when you were, your communication from your early life regarding money. And so you might have been taught that you have to work hard for money, that, money doesn't come easy, focus on the money part of it, it's the most important part, that type of energy. And the other thing that this is focusing, this person is literally making money. Like it's without regard to the lifestyle that's involved with it. So sometimes it could be that your parents made a lot of sacrifices because they were busy making money, and maybe you felt that as a child, feeling like you were maybe not getting enough attention. This card here is representing your emotional foundation. And sometimes this can indicate that you feel like there's something missing that you need to heal from. And it can represent a very busy mind. The swords represent the element of air. So it's about your thoughts. Thoughts are expressed through words, whether that be written or it could be verbal. And the thoughts represent your mental intelligence and also the discipline you have over your mind. So sometimes this can represent someone who has been overthinking and just can't get out of a thinking loop and wants to rest their mind and is wanting some peace of mind. So this is representing putting the mind to rest and going into a meditative or prayer state. This looks like it's in a church. Now, this is the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. Bunk, hanging on the wall here. Don't need these. I'm going inward. I want to feel with my heart. What does my heart want? I want to go with what my heart wants. I don't want to be in this thinking loop anymore. The subconscious mind does represent the it's a mind that is formed when you are like a baby up until about the age of usually around kindergarten age, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. And it's actually the thoughts of the people that were put in charge of your care, and also the environment that you're in. When you think about a baby comes into the world and they absorb their environment. They have so much to learn. Look what a baby learns to do in the first year alone. And so that energy is heavily imprinted on us. And the subconscious mind, when we get triggered, when we get upset, we tend to, that's the first one that pops in our head because it's so heavily imprinted on us. But it's probably the least reliable because it's more the thoughts of that other people who were looking after us, our parents, our extended family, babysitters, that type of energy, how they imprinted our energy. And so this is talking about, it's not that reliable because it's the thoughts of others. You don't really have a memory on that. You have to rely on other people telling you, oh, this is what happened when you were young and you were like this, that type of energy. Now, your unconscious mind is coming from the soul's perspective. And, a lot of people will recognize, yes, I am a human being and I have a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you are a soul traveling in a human body, and this is your vehicle to navigate Earth. And if the soul's needs are not being addressed, it will become very loud and start arguing with the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is like, I went to the store yesterday, I purchased these 3 items, I paid this much money for them, then I went home and I made supper. You have a clear memory of it, it's conscious, and so when the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind are working together, that's when you have discipline of the mind. And the best way to do that is through meditation and prayer, like quieting the mind, putting it to rest, and allowing your heart to connect with higher source energy and allowing your intuition to come through. All of these swords are double-edged swords, which means that on one edge they are your intuition, and on the other edge they are your logic. And so if you put the two together, that's when you come up with creative solutions. On the window here, this stained glass window has the word PAX on it, P-A-X, and that stands for peace, peace of mind. All right. When your mind's at peace, then you can feel and are more intuitive. We have this card here is talking about the 9 of Cups. There's only 10 cups in the tarot, so this is talking about having a lot of what you love. Like you're almost at the ultimate fulfillment of love. And this is representing someone that doesn't quite have it yet, but they're in the midst of getting it. And we can't tell exactly where they are at that stage. They are on a stage, so this could represent that, because this is coming from your internal forces, that you may possibly be a public figure, or be in the public eye somehow, or maybe you have a strong presence in the social media, or your job is public works, that type of energy. This is representing these cups. They represent like love for yourself, love for your partner, love for your children, love for your pets, love for where you live, your neighbors, your career, your clients, that type of energy, having a lot of love coming in from all sources. And this is talking about past, present, or future. Has this already happened where you have a lot of this, or is it coming in right now and above your head, or is it in front of you and you haven't quite gotten there yet? In any case, this person is on stage for display, so it's quite public, that how much you're loved, if that makes any sense. And the body language is a little bit incongruent here. When people sit with their feet out, pointed out like this, it leaks energy, especially from the base chakra. And this energy could talk about being a little bit tired and not 100% focused. And then, but his upper body, he has his arms in the form of infinity symbol. So this is infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. And this energy is saying you need to stay focused on your goal because you're almost there. And it's coming in, but like this is something that many a race is lost in the last lap. So you don't want to lose focus, get distracted by other people and what they want you to do. You need to have what you really want. You need to stay focused on that. And then we have this energy here, which is talking about wanting to be in this energy because you feel like you're in rough water. Rough water in tarot represents volatile emotions, chaos in your life, that type of energy. And this this conveyor is taking them across to from the rough waters into peaceful, calm waters to take you into God's energy. And he has to dig very deep with this pole to be able to push off and get this boat moving. And this is quite often, these two swords here can represent that subconscious mind affecting how you think as an adult from how you were when you were a child, basically. So this is basically the subconscious mind here, you know, needing to maybe heal some sort of inner child energy, something that happened when you were a child. Maybe you don't remember it, but it's something that's affecting the way you view life, and it's affecting your ability to, you know, be in this energy and get that 10th cup as well. Okay, so then we're going to focus. So this is the internal forces. You know it's an internal force because you'll be asking questions like, what if I don't do this and they do that? Or what if they do that and then I have to do this? The woulda, shoulda, couldas of life. And they can keep you up at night like in a thinking loop. And so this is when you discipline your mind, then you're able to feel with your heart what your authentic desires are. You satisfy your unconscious mind then. And we have, for the external forces, we have the underline. Oops, that was from the top of the deck. We'll just put it back here for a second and we will get the underline is judgment. Okay, this is the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. For your external forces, and this is talking about God's judgment coming in to bring you this justice. So this is talking about justice coming in for whatever it is that you want justice. You may be just, it could represent that you're clearing karma. You know, we spoke about that indirect karma. Your ancestors here are cheering that this judgment is happening. So it could be that you are clearing up unfinished business from them, that they could not complete themselves before they left the physical world, and the descendants are all cheering, and they're cheering because, oh yay, you are doing this, and they're very proud of you and happy you are. So this is talking about this spiritual judgment coming down to earth. This can represent skeletons coming out of the closet, and even like Pandora's box being opened. And the caution here is knowing that when Pandora's box gets opened, it's pretty much impossible to close it. And I'm picking up this energy, you know, on April 25th, Uranus moved, the planet Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini, and Uranus hasn't been in Gemini since 1941 to 1949. So that energy, if you think back to that time frame, that was when World War II was happening and ending, and the after effects of that energy. And so that's a very similar kind of energy that we're in right now, where like people are unsure, the markets are a little unsure, people are worried about what's going on in the planet, that type of energy. And this Uranus in Gemini is basically the truth is going to come out. That's what it's about. Gemini wants truth, and Gemini is is an air sign that's very quick-witted, and it is a sign where it's like, yes, I want the truth. I want to be able to look at things from all angles, and the Gemini energy can make very quick changes. It's easy for them to do that, but it can be really challenging for everybody else. And Taurus is not so much into that energy. So that now the energy that we have for partnerships, commitments, and marriage, we have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is talking about, she is a master at using her intuition for creative solutions. She sits between two extremes, good and evil, and actually the most extreme of all, between Jesus and the devil. So she sits up by the throne with God, and she follows the cycles of the moon. We do have that full moon coming up on May 1st, and that energy, that moon is in Scorpio, and that's coming up, like, what is it? It's the 28th today when I'm posting this, so we're already starting to feel that full moon energy, and we're moving into that full moon energy. I have done a reading for everybody for each sign. I just posted them a couple days ago for this full moon energy. If you haven't seen that, you might want to take a look at that if you want to know more, because it's a lot of information about that. But just knowing that it's showing up here, to pay attention, to recognize that your intuition is going to be extra sharp, and you might be a little bit more emotional than usual. The High Priestess uses all of this background energy is representing information, and all this information comes in. Information does equal energy. So a lot of people say, oh, it just seems like time has sped up. With all that energy happening, it does feel like time has sped up because of all the energy. We have so much more access to information quickly now, and it can make it very challenging to sort through, and it causes this energy where our mind won't quit, and then we need to, like, hey, be quiet, mind. I need to feel for the answer. Which is the best answer. So this is talking about infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond, but having to sort through the information by quieting the mind and feeling, so that you can use your intuition and make the best choice. Now, this is in your partnerships, commitment, and marriage. So this energy coming in about a love offer. Definitely could be you need to use your intuition around that, or it could be saying that it's coming in around this, like, hey, we're almost there. Like, we're 3 days away from the full moon energy. And so then this energy here, oh, look at that, the King of Cups comes in. So the King of Cups is, oh, look at that. Yes, he's sitting here on his throne, and he has he's in the middle of all this chaotic water here. And he's been keeping his eye on you, I feel, and he understands that you're going through a chaotic time at this time, and he understands that your emotions are probably running really high and up and down because of all that's happening around you. And he's patiently waiting. He is a master at controlling his emotions. Because he can do that so well, he is the most emotionally available of all the kings, and most likely to be a solid offer when it comes to love. He can handle it. Sometimes this can represent your paternal line as well, or even if you have a spouse already, your spouse's paternal line or potential spouse's paternal line. And if it's not about love, romantic love, then it could be about something you love to do, and this is someone that's going to come in and empower you in that way. Generally, though, these cards together like this say it is something to do with your a partner that would be an intimate partner in a committed relationship. And this is in the position of transition. And this is talking about this energy that I'm talking about with Scorpio, or the transition. This is in the position of Scorpio, and it is Scorpio, the house of Scorpio. And the moon, the full moon that we have on the 1st of May is in the sign of Scorpio. And it is opposed by the sun shining light on it in the sign of Taurus. So this energy is talking definitely about this. There's like Taurus wants things to stay the same, and Scorpio wants things to change. So there's some conflict between that. You may want to take a look at that energy for your sign, Taurus. It might give you further clarity. This is talking. You might be feeling conflicted about whether or not you want to accept this cup, but I feel like that's because they're of healing, that you need healing in your inner child, something that happened that maybe formed your opinion about your worthiness for having love, because it looks like you're supposed to be going on a new adventure here. So you don't want to say no to something that could actually be like, something that's really beautiful for you. And look at how my throat, my voice just changed. My throat's closing up. It's talking about that energy of maybe you didn't feel like you could speak up when you were a child to get the attention you needed. And here we're hitting on one of the weaknesses here. And that could be from that healing energy that you've chosen to do is going to make a big difference between like moving forward in how you want to live your life. And I feel like that's part of the reason why these ancestors are cheering, because they want that for you. They want you to be happy and have the love that you deserve. We have the conflict, yes. And look at this card here. So this is talking about what you've learned. Like it's basically, it's going in the position of higher learning. And this can talk about having a lot of outer conflict, and that's, you know, like this kind of energy here where people are in competition with you, and you may not even know these people. You may not even know that they're in competition with you. They might have wanted the King of Cups to ask them out, and you don't even know this. You don't even care. Like like it's the last thing on your mind, but it's the first thing on theirs. It's that type of energy. And so you may attract that kind of outer conflict energy because you don't realize maybe how absolutely divine you are. And so it's kind of like that, you know, the Taurus energy is like the toddler of the universe. And it's like toddlers are so lovable, and you know, they'll always be asking why this and why that, and they're interested in that, and they're interested in their values, you know, what is important to them. And then you can ask them to share something and they'll throw a major temper tantrum. And so quite often for Taurus, it's essential that they learn the give and take in life, like how much energy to give to other people, how much of yourself are you going to invest in other people, and who are you going to do that with, and what are you going to invest in, and is it a fair exchange of energy, and learning to make those exchanges fair and on both sides basically. And so that type of energy can cause a lot of this mind thinking all the time, can really cause this outer conflict because you have inner conflict. And sometimes this represents this person's already fought two people. He's saying, I'm willing to take the risks that I need to take. I'm standing up for myself. You know, I have 5 swords here. Does anyone else want to take me on? Because I am going to fight for what I want. And this can represent some very cutthroat energy. There's not that many good kings out there that are offering cups of love to people. So this energy also can talk about that inner conflict. So this is actually could be representing the 3 parts of you: the subconscious, the unconscious, and the conscious mind, in conflict with each other, which of course then causes outer conflict and attracts that to you. But you've been doing this inner work to make them come together, and then if you plug that into your heart's desires, then you're going after what's authentic for you. And I feel like you're well on your way to doing that. You're working on it. And this is attracting this king's energy. He likes that because he already is there. And he doesn't really, I just feel like the King of Cups knows the last place you want drama is in your significant other love relationship. You want to have excitement, you want to have passion, but you don't need a whole bunch of drama. And then we have this energy of, the shift disturber. Speaking of drama. So this energy is talking about the shift disturber. This is a walking contradiction. We don't know why he has 2 swords planted here, but it might have something to do with this. This could be someone from your past that you had a relationship that you're still thinking about, or it has shaped the way you feel about love. So this could be a past relationship in love that is still affecting you. And he's got these 2 swords planted. He's carrying these other 5. And look at, we've got 5 swords here. So he's carrying these other 5 swords here. And he's sneaky, like he's on his tiptoes, and he's acting like he's stealing these, like he's a thief. And why did he plant 2? So it's kind of like, you know, these represent thoughts and, you know, words and that kind of energy. So he has these 2 planted. He's looking over his shoulder at the past, but he's moving forward without looking where he's going. And he's on tiptoe, he's sneaking around. And what is he, whose swords are these? Are they, like, why does he have these swords? Quite often this energy can represent white collar crime, because if he's not a thief in the night, because I mean it's broad daylight, anyone who wants to see him, he's wearing bright red shoes and a bright red cap. I mean, why be sneaky in broad daylight like this? And so this energy sometimes can represent white collar crime, where someone's pushing paper at a desk. And it can be about intellectual property as well, like patents and that kind of energy, and stealing those. And so this can be talking about like counterfeit and forgery, identity theft, that type of energy. And when you look at this energy here, this could literally be making money. I mean, like making money illegally, because it's counterfeit, or it's forgery, or it's identity theft, that type of energy. And he's sitting at his desk pushing paper, so no one realizes what he's in broad daylight doing it. What bothers me the most about this energy is the way he's carrying these swords, because these are very sharp. And, he's not looking where he's going. If he trips, he could lose his hands. And he's that dangerous with his own energy, then he's not going to be careful with other people's energy. And so that's the danger of this. And this is in the position of your career and reputation. So this could be a past situation, or someone that's in this competitive state with you. I feel like it might be... because we have this energy here of, wanting to heal this energy. This could even represent, maybe you had a lot of siblings and you were in competition always for your parents' attention. And this could even represent sibling energy, energy that someone in your family possibly is involved, or some sort of energy like that. And we don't have any pentacles here except for this of making money in this way. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean that, but it could. So listen to your intuition regarding that. And then we have, my way or the highway energy. So this is someone who doesn't want to see what's going on here, that's blindfolded, and they can only see two ways, this way or that way, my way or the highway. And I hate to say it, Taurus, but this is kind of your energy when you get stubborn. If you've ever seen, like, the glyph is the bull. And when that bull digs its heels in and you try and make it move, it's not going to move. And then it might get irritated. And if someone happens to flash a red flag at it saying, hey, you might want to watch out for this, it might get angry and charge. Literally run down the red flag, the person trying to warn them. And probably for good reason, because, bulls have a long history of being abused by red flags. But this energy is talking about you having a closed mind about this situation. And that this is someone, you notice here how the body language is very similar. And this is basically saying you can only see two ways of doing something. And the blindfold is like a closed mind. You see the body language here and the body language here, it's very similar. This is talking about that leaking of energy. And look at the arms, like now, like the arms here are over the heart, protecting the heart and still feeling vulnerable. And I feel it's from a past relationship. In a partner, it could have been in business, it could have been in partnership in your romantic love life, or it could be a family member. And you felt betrayed, or you felt like your heart was broken, and you are still protecting that energy. And because of this card, it could represent that energy of wanting to heal that inner child energy, whatever happened there. So this could represent, especially like this is adolescence, and this could represent sibling rivalry. This energy protecting the heart, and then the right arm is holding the left arm back, which quite often can represent, the right arm is representing your logic, the left arm your intuition. So this is your right arm wanting only your logic and not listening to your heart. Don't listen to your heart. Last time you listened to your heart, look how much that hurt. You don't want to go through that again. Use your logic. You don't want to make yourself vulnerable. Yes, you do. You want to make yourself vulnerable because you want to accept this cup of love if it's a true offer. You don't want to turn it down because of fear. And that's why you have been busy disciplining that mind and saying, be quiet. I'm going to unfold my arms here. It's the new moon. I'm going to use my intuition. If I have to, I'll hire a detective and I'll do a background check on this king and make sure that he's on the up and up. But I'm not saying no to him. This is a blessing coming in for me. I want to say yes to my blessings. Good job. And then look at this. We have the marriage card coming in. Really funny energy. This also came in this position for the Aries energy. I've only done the 2 readings up to now. But there's a lot of energy in Aries right now astrologically. Most of the time there's not that much astrological information to talk about. And I had someone comment, you're talking too much about all these astrological influences. This is an astrological reading. So I'm talking about them, but I hear you, I get it. But there's so much happening at this time astrologically that that's why I'm saying if you want to know about the full moon coming up, go to my new moon, full moon playlist and learn about that, because it could give you a lot of insight. It's showing up in the reading here. So at this time, moving into the beginning of May, we have the full moon energy, and the only other real energy that is really changed from my last readings around this are Pluto. So on May 6th, Pluto is moving into, it's going retrograde into Aquarius energy. And sometimes that can cause a little bit of confusion, and it kind of magnifies problems. And so it makes things sometimes seem bigger than they really are. And it's about having power, having control over the situation. So this is important to recognize that Pluto energy is really pushing that way. And then we also, in this month, have a second full moon. And so there's 2 full moons in the month of May. So that is also, there's a lot happening more towards the end. But right now, a lot of what astrologically was really, it's still going on, because these were big planets that moved into the sign of Aries. And like Neptune and Neptune's going to be there for 14 years, and Saturn's going to be there for 2.5 to 3 years. And so it's Venus moved in there on April 24th. Venus moved back from Aries into Gemini then. And so this energy is still around, but it's not as prominent as it was. But yeah, definitely moving into this, the first 10 days here of May, we have just the full moon to contend with, and this energy from the full moon, as well as this Pluto energy. So sometimes what this is saying, this is talking about any secrets coming out of that kind of, anything that you need to know on the spiritual level as well as on the physical is coming out for you, so that you'll have clarity. And so be careful of this Pluto energy that makes things seem more confusing than they really are. This is talking about the beginning of fulfillment. This is talking about, you have the down payment for the castle, and all you have to do now is make the payments. You've been offered a proposal of marriage, and the answer is yes, or you offered it and the answer is yes, and now you just have the wedding to deal with, and then you have to just work on the relationship. So this is awesome energy. Congratulations. It might not be here yet, but I feel like it's around the bend here. And so I'm going to clarify this for those that want further clarification. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you for your time and energy. And please do give a like and comment on the way out. Consider subscribing. You're more than welcome. And now I'll clarify for those of you who want clarification. I'm using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. I started this back in 2007. And we have, when I started this in 2020, I finished 64 paintings. I'm getting ready to bring it out now. I'm working right now on the information, and I want to put it into action. And this, I finally have time right now. I've had my Oracle out at my seminars when I used to teach them, and had a lot of fun playing with it with different people, and also at psychic fairs for about 4 years. But now what I'm doing is I am wanting to see what I wrote, and I have that written down, and I have a website, talesfromthevector.com. But I want to see how it is in action before I write the manual that goes with the deck. And so I'm going to play with it for a while here, because every time I do a reading, I learn something new here. So we have a lot of maestro energy in my oracle. The vertical cards represent the power, like the advice coming in from the maestros. And this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. In the description box below, I will put all of the numbers, and you'll know which of the paintings to look for in my gallery. This is how they're numbered in the gallery. So this is saying the sun is here. When the sun shows up, it's saying it's the happiest card in the deck. God is smiling on this energy. You deserve to have this love. And so just understand that that's, it's incoming. There could be a tower. The tower energy is when your intuition is whispering something to you, but you don't hear it. And then the tower hits, and it's like, okay, now I have to listen. It's a reality check. And I feel like with this energy here, you might be saying, maybe I don't know if I want to. I want this. I want to have this. I want to be on this new journey. Like, my throat is closing up when I say it. But last time it was so challenging, and it was so hard to overcome what happened. And like, things are peaceful now, kind of. I sort of have what I want. And it's that type of energy. And this is a reality check. Look, you're about to miss out on a big opportunity in your life here unless you pay attention. Boom, a tower hits, so you have to pay attention. Now, this is talking, remember I said the Fool goes on their journey at the 0 point, and when they hit the 21 card, that means it's the end of the cycle and you've learned everything you can from it. Whoa, is that ever clear, right? This is saying you've learned everything that you can from that situation. It's time to move into a new cycle. Woohoo! God's judgment is here, and we have it here also. So this is talking also about the cosmic heart, being unfettered. Open your heart up. It's safe to, this is saying you've put in the work to be able to heal your heart and to get your mind congruent with your heart's desires. You're a star. You're meant to shine. This is the energy you're supposed to be in. Use your intuition and your logic, and open up your heart to this energy, because this is a gift that the divine is overseeing and collaborating with the universe to bring this in for you. This is talking about, so this energy about this wish here, it's talking about pride, and this can be all or nothing energy. And the best way I can describe this is, how sometimes if you go to someone's house and you'll go there and you're like, wow, this place is absolutely immaculate. Like, it looks like, it could be on Instagram. This is how this person really lives, my God. And then the next time you go there, it's just like a bomb hit and everything's everywhere. So that's that all or nothing energy. And so sometimes some people, when, if one little thing goes wrong, they can get into this, well, it's all going to hell in a handbasket. I may as well just, give up. And then they'll go for like a few days where they don't care. And then all of a sudden that pride comes back in, and it's like, okay, now I'm gonna clean up and make it immaculate again. So it's that back and forth, and that all or nothing energy can be really challenging, because it's kind of like in that energy when you're at the nothing stage. It's it can be like you're really hard on yourself, and on life, and everything's hard. And that Pluto, so beware of that Pluto energy coming in. This is about persuasion. So you want to be, like a cat's purr. It's healing. You want to have, speak to yourself gently. Recognize that, you're worthy of this. And of course you have fears, because you've been vulnerable in the past and it was painful. But you don't want to let your pride get in the way of you having what you really want. The High Priestess energy, use your intuition. It's saying it again and then again here when it comes to this partner. Use your intuition. This is like, this is the Lover's energy right here. So this new lover, this cup being offered to you, is saying use your intuition about this. This is someone who adores you. They look at you and they're like, they've been waiting until you get ready for this, and they can feel it, because the King is very good at reading emotions. And this is talking about the Judgment coming in is we have Pisces energy. So this energy can be representing, like this King of Cup energy can also talk about some energy from the paternal line, like your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather energy, and how you deal with authority. And so maybe that was part of what you need to go off with God to heal in time for, and then that's what flipped the switch so that you can move into this more this energy. And the justice is that that you're going to live well. The best revenge is living well. Didn't we start with that, I think? So there could have been some energy with you and your father that you felt betrayed or something by him, and that when you were young, maybe your parents got divorced or something and he left the house, that type of energy. It has a huge effect sometimes on children when they're at certain ages. The Chariot energy is representing that this healing energy is coming in. And maybe this King of Cups is like totally opposite from your father, or a lot like your father. And either way, that's what kind of is attracting you to them. And but this is someone who is in sync with your, like, understands your energy, and they understand themselves. So they're not someone. They're the most solid offer of love that you can receive, basically. Then we have, and that's happening already on the spiritual realm, and God is overseeing it. So when God, this is the happiest card in the deck, shining light on your situation. You deserve to have this healing energy. And then we have deception. So this inner conflict was, I feel like this past life, I said past life, didn't I? So it could be someone from your past life that came in, and they might have been someone that was that you had a previous relationship with, an ex of some sort, and perhaps they were in a third-party relationship, and that's what you needed to heal from to be able to move forward in this way. It might have triggered a lot of energy from, if your parents were divorced when you were young, having that energy repeated might have triggered some childhood weaknesses that needed to be cleared. And then we have, and that was about a major transition, and that's saying that energy is now done. You've done the inner work, and it doesn't have to be that way or the other way. There's never only two ways of doing anything. It can be talking about having creative solutions, and this is talking about this energy I was picking up down here. So the Virgo energy is talking about having analytical critique, or is it anal criticism? Watch your words to yourself. Virgo can't stand, the energy can't stand when there's something out of order. And it's kind of like everything has to be in its place kind of energy. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And so Virgo energy of all the signs has a tendency to, when it comes to communication, to use harsh words on themselves. And then they tend to do it with others. And then that energy, the analytical critique turns into anal criticism very easily. And they particularly do that to themselves, and then they tend to do it with others. So it's talking about that Pluto energy that I was talking about, and also the Scorpio full moon energy. Now, when the horoscope signs come in a general collective reading like this, I want to point out, I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about the energy of that sign, the state of being, and what can we learn from it, because we mostly have all the signs in us. So in your own reading here, it could be, no, Colette, this is a Pisces, and that person was a Virgo, which could be very much true for you. But I want you to understand that's not what my goal is. My goal is to read for like the collective. And it would be highly unlikely that everybody would have that in the same sign happening. It's more the energy of it. And then for the final, it's talking about surrender. So just, a psychic cleanse, basically, allowing yourself to, I feel like your ancestors might have been showing up in your dreams. That's quite often how they try and reach us, to say, hey, don't miss out on this opportunity. This is a good one. Make sure you don't beat yourself up here. You're being too hard on yourself. And we're proud of you. You're clearing this energy that has been running through the family. You're clearing this up for the whole bloodline, so that everybody's descendants will not be this way. They won't have this burden. It's that type of energy. So congratulations on that, Taurus. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. I certainly have. And please do give it a like and a comment if you have. Consider subscribing if you resonate with the channel. And I will be back with another reading for you soon. Bye for now, Taurus. Okay, little kitty. Now that you're being a good girl, I gotta wake you up.